Hey nerds, and welcome to this episode of Two Nerds in a Basement. This time, we just watched Wonder Woman 1984. First impressions?
I liked it. I've seen a lot of more on the negative side reviews, but I actually liked it.
I liked it too. It was a great spin on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, when we were watching it, I think we both commented on it had more of a comic book feel to it.
Yeah, it was much brighter than the previous film.
Like in that one scene. Oh yeah, by the way, this is going to have spoilers. We're going to put it in.
Yeah, we'll just put a big spoiler thing in the title.
So if you haven't watched it, I know it only came out, let's see, a few days ago. Came out for Christmas.
Really? It came out Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas. What a gift. No. Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, make sure you don't spoil yourself.
Yeah.
There's a few twists in there. Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, a few good twists.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get it on.
So, in the movie, we start out with young Wonder Woman, Diana, as a child doing this kind of triathlon kind of thing.
It's like a contest of champions in her home, the Amazonians.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And so we see that kind of, in my opinion, not very good CGI.
I didn't notice. Maybe he's more of the tech guy.
A bit of the nerd.
Yeah. Well, I think we're both pretty big nerds.
Yeah.
You're just
the CGI
computer nerd.
Yeah, the CGI just, it was good. It was just not up, I would say, to today's standard of the guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
wait.
Was,
wait, cut it. No, don't start. No, you can't start.
Okay, you told me to shush, so I just went straight up. Okay. Ooh.
Okay. So the CGI for today's standards, I wouldn't call it very good, but it was like, I'd say if it came out in 2015, that would be good CGI. It was totally passable. It's just some unrefined areas. It was still a great scene and everything.
And yeah, I mean, that was in the reviews for some of the negative sides were mostly concerned with the CGI in the beginning.
And that's only in the beginning. So once you throw that out, the rest of the movie is really good though.
Like I said, if you're just a casual viewer like me, I didn't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
But Nerd Boy here did. So yeah, let's just jump right into the movie itself, the plot.
Okay, so plot starts out on a little like a flashback, the triathlon thing. She does it, gets to the end, and then when she's about to throw like a spear through a big hoop.
Like the ending.
Yeah, like you have to throw it through the hoop.
Do a lot of challenges.
Yeah,
like
she
riding, shooting, arrow,
swimming,
and
at
the end was a spear.
Yeah, in the beginning, obstacle course. So she throws it. She goes to throw the spear, but like the moderator or whatever, that person, she stops her, which I thought was crappy. Yeah. Like, why couldn't you let her throw the spear? She's like, no, you cheated, because she fell off her horse.
At one point, she does take an alternate route.
Yeah, because she got knocked off her horse, but she also lost time, so I don't know how that worked, you know?
Yeah, and then at the end, she literally like knocks the spear down, and then she gives her a speech about how she's just not ready.
She says you're not ready to win.
Yeah, and that was a little, I don't know what it had to do with.
Oh yeah, there's no tie-in other than the statue, because there was the statue.
Yeah,
of
it
the
talks about
rings.
who the real champion was, and how her armor helped save all of the Amazonians from the mankind.
Yeah,
and that ends up playing a role later on. Yeah. So then we jump forward to 1984, hence the title, Wonder Woman, 1984. And it's something we both noticed was that it's very 80s, like very 80s. I mean, from the yoga fits to to the TVs to the music playing.
Like the mall scene and just had everything 80s in it.
Yeah.
But it didn't like overplay the 80s aesthetic.
The movie itself didn't rely on a nostalgia feel like some movies tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, hopefully they won't notice this poor writing choice.
Yeah,
and
they cover it up.
Yeah. And from the mall, it cuts to Wonder Woman foiling a little heist thing. She doesn't know she's doing it.
Yeah.
She thinks it's just a bank robbery.
Oh, yeah, because that dude is holding, like, the girl. So this dude grabs a girl and holds him over the rail. And she sees that and saves the day and everything. And she knocks out all the cameras first, though, with her little tiara or whatever.
Which is pretty cool. I didn't remember that happening in the first movie.
I didn't think she had to do it because it was so early on that people weren't.
Oh yeah, well yeah, there weren't cameras.
Yeah,
and Wonder Woman 1.
Yeah, so she knocks out the cameras and kicks all the butt, and then she's like, "I wasn't here," and then she disappears, and then we cut to her job, which is like a.
She was like a forensic person. Oh no, she was more on the science or forensic science.
Yeah,
because when Bruce meets her in later films, like Justice League and Batman vs Superman, she's looking at mythology and stuff.
Yeah, so we get there. There's this scene with the soon-to-be Cheetah.
Yeah.
As like this real like clumsy nerdy girl, she drops all her stuff and she asks this one dude, "Hey, can you help me?" And he just went like,
he goes,
"Haha, no,"
and just keeps walking.
And she's like, "Oh, okay."
And so then that's when Diana,
like,
not Wonder Woman, Diana has her human self,
alter ego.
Yeah, alter ego. Comes in and offers to help her out, and they talk a little bit.
Yeah, and then she's like, "You want to go to lunch?" And Diana's like, "I'm kind of busy."
Yeah, I'm a little busy, you know. I'm a super, whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to really talk to you.
Then when she finds out that this girl, I can't remember her name, the cheetah girl.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah,
the cheetah girl
from Disney.
Yeah, cheetah girls. So the cheetah girl there has this whole scene of looking at this like rock. And they said it was nothing special, but Diana's like reading the Latin around it, and it's like whoever holds this in their hand and makes a wish, it comes true.
Grants whatever you most want. Or whatever.
Yeah, and so while the tour guide, what's it, Maxwell
Lord,
yeah. Maxwell, like donated a lot to the museum, so he gets a personal tour. He comes in, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and so he's flirting with the nerdy girl, but also flirting with Diana, and Diana.
Yeah, he's a bit of a. He's a personality. He even says that I'm a personality.
Yeah, and Diana's like, no, thank you,
con man.
Yeah,
she
like,
notices.
Yeah, she knows he's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we continue on, and they go to this party for the museum.
She's trying to. Kind of like what we see in Batman vs Superman. She dresses up to go as a spy, see who he really is.
Yeah.
Also, the Cheetah girl who plays Cheetah, goes.
Oh, and before that, she makes the wish.
Yes.
Cheetah girl.
But she unknowingly makes the wish. No one knows it except Diana and Maxwell.
Yeah.
And he ends up seducing her at the party.
And stealing the rock.
By
seducing.
Well, we don't know how he gets it out of there, but.
Oh yeah, there's this scene where he grabs it and just.
You just see it go behind him, and you see his hand again, and you're like.
And then when he pulls it out, he reaches behind him again, and it's kind of conspicuous how he snuck it out.
Prison wallet.
Yeah, that's how he did it, yeah.
And so from there, he makes the wish. Instead of wishing for what he wants, which is riches and power, he wishes to become the stone himself.
Which was an interesting twist. I didn't expect that.
Thought about it. Yeah, whoever thought of that?
A little...
Tip of the hat, right?
Tip of the hat.
Which he becomes a wish, so someone has to touch him and make the wish.
Yeah.
And it comes true, and he is able from that to gain a little something of them. Remember?
Oh yeah, because when you make a wish with this thing, it requires like a sacrifice of something, and so since he became the like wishing stone, he gets to choose what he gets back, and so he starts with the first guy is the tax guy that invested in him. Yeah. And so he was like wishing him for wealth and all that, but in return he got like audited.
Yeah, he gives him his power and all his oil shares.
Yeah,
in the company. Yeah, and Diana unknowingly makes a wish as well, and that's how we actually get the character of Steve.
Steve's back,
which that was out of left field for me.
Yeah,
I did not know that's how he was going to come back. And then he comes back as Steve, but also he's another guy. That was one of the confusing cons of the movie.
They had this one dude, but his Steve got put in his body, but Diana saw him as Steve and not the other dude. Yeah. But when Steve looked in the mirror, it was the other dude.
It was a little confusing.
A little confusing. I wish they like explained it better.
Yeah, I wish we had a little more explanation on that. That was kind of a con in the movie. How about we go into that little list? Our pros and cons.
Oh yeah. So should we go all pros and then cons?
Well, we've already kind of started on cons.
Oh, we'll start cons and then go pros.
Yeah.
So cons, we have CGI in the beginning was not the best. We talked about that. more of a comic book feel. We put that on both sides because some people don't like the comic book feel, some people do. We liked it.
Yeah, because it is such a change in tone from the first movie. I can see why people who were used to like the grittier, dark DC movies from Zack Snyder were like, it feels like a Marvel.
Yeah.
Kind of
it didn't really feel like a Marvel movie either. It
was an in-between.
Yeah. It was a good mix, I think.
It was a little mix. I think it was gritty with the 80s that brought it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Another con we had was, to us, watching it, it didn't feel like there was as much like continuous action throughout the movie compared to the first film. But when there was action, it was really cool. Like
there was not a lot of action, but when it was done, it was really well executed, I think.
Mm-hmm. As in the fight in Egypt.
Oh yeah,
with all the tankers, that was really cool.
The chase scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then not a lot of time spent on Cheetah, which you come into this thinking Cheetah would be the main villain
from the trailers.
Yeah, because she's a comic book classic villain to Wonder Woman, but then it ends up Maxwell becoming the like big baddie.
And she's trying to protect him from taking away her power from Diana.
So it just feels like she's like a sidekick to him.
Yeah, it does kind of get regulated to sidekick.
Yeah.
That was a little depressing.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing.
Because she is so cool.
Yeah.
Especially when she evolves from
because
Wonder Woman sidekick.
In this, she doesn't fully evolve into the cheetah form, like the mutated cheetah, until the very end of the movie. Because, what was it? How did she...
Her first wish, she said, I want to be just like Diana.
Yeah.
And then her later wishes, she's like, no, I want to be the apex predator. I want to be better than everyone else.
But how does she get turned into cheetah?
That's what he does. He says, I want to be the apex predator. And he goes, okay, I like the way you think.
Oh, yeah, and then he reverses it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not a lot of time spent on Cheetah. We also have...
There's a lot of time spent on Maxwell, for sure. Like we said, it felt like he was the main villain.
Yeah.
Which is fine. He was very compelling.
Oh, yeah, he was a great villain. Because it was...
His arc I thought was really cool.
It was the guy who played...
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro.
Who plays the Mandalorian.
Which I didn't know he could pull off a great villain look, but he does it in this.
He does. His little smug, like...
And his eyes.
Side smiles.
Yeah.
In his eyes, yeah. And his voice. And the classic little point thing he does.
Oh, yeah, he's like... what's he say?
Something about being awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, life's good, but you can make it awesome or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of his catchphrase in the movie.
And he does that to Diane in the beginning. He's like,
and she's like,
oh, okay, cool,
I'm an
man.
Amazonian superhero, but whatever.
And then we also have Steve coming back. Felt unnecessary. It really did feel unnecessary. Like they needed extra driving force, which I don't think they needed something extra to drive her.
Yeah,
I understand.
I would like to see her be grieving, and that's what drove her. I would like to see that.
Yeah, and through defeating Maxwell, she gets this own kind of closure to understanding, like, I can't change what happened. You can't change what you have, so you might as well accept it. And also, she was talking about the truth. Yeah. You can't change the truth.
Yeah, with the truth of lasso.
The lasso of truth. Yeah. So it felt like he wasn't necessary. I think they just did it to put in the trailers.
I'm glad they did it instead of introducing a whole new romance. I am glad about that.
I think
that would have been forced.
Well, they still introduced a new romance at the end of the movie with the because Steve was in that guy, and then when Steve left, that guy became the new romance.
His own person, and you could see this little spark between them when she's starting to kind of get over
Steve's
loss. Yeah, that was kind of a con for me.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
The ending is cool. You get to hear this really classic flyover of like the city.
Oh yeah.
And then it ends with her talking to that guy also.
Yeah. And also there's this big fight scene where Steve is handcuffed to Maxwell, and Steve hasn't made any wishes. And so he can completely make a wish like for Maxwell to turn back into the stone, for them to be separated or anything like that.
Do anything really.
But he just sits there
and kind of fights him.
Yeah, instead of wishing.
Yeah, that was a pretty big con, but I feel like it was there for the plot device.
Yeah, because I feel like Steve as a character he's an intelligent person and cunning, I would say. So I feel like he would have known to wish for something.
I don't know our pros because we sound like we really
since we did cons first. Yeah,
we did like this movie. For me especially, it looked great.
Yeah,
in the 80s was full of color.
Yeah, everything looks great other than the beginning, but that's still like if you're very picky.
Mm-hmm. But the colors look great.
Oh yeah, the color scheme is wonderful in that. Mm-hmm. Also, the music.
Oh yeah, the movie's music is made by Hans Zimmer, who's a classic. He does everything.
He does everything.
Kung Fu Panda, for God's sake.
He did Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's why it's such a good movie.
Yeah, honestly, we'll get to that one day maybe.
Oh,
love those movies. But yeah, he did the music, and you get that classic Wonder Woman. You know, the theme, and she comes
Batman
in
theme,
and she starts kicking butt when she's in Egypt.
Oh yeah, when there's a big chase scene in Egypt in their big like tanker kind of cars, and she's like running through them, under them, flipping them upside down and all that. But she's also losing her powers at that time because she wished for Steve back. But in turn,
the sacrifice was her powers diminishing.
Yeah.
But that leads into, even though there wasn't as much action, the action was top tier when we did get it.
Mm-hmm.
And in place of that, we got a good story, I felt like. The Stone story was solid enough to where I was like, I wasn't bored.
Yeah, it kept you like watching the entire time.
I wasn't bored by it, even if there was no action, you know.
Yeah, like it didn't feel like they were putting action in to keep you interested. They put action in because it
was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really great point to this movie. Maybe that might have turned some people off who would really like the first one.
Yeah, who are more like
her kicking Nazi butt the whole movie.
Yeah, because the first movie is just action.
It is. It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, but this movie was more of a story. It involved, I think, like 4 central characters instead of a whole army.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I really did like that part of it. And as we talked about, another pro, as we talked about, was in the beginning of the movie. The little contest of champions was pretty rad. Even though it didn't really tie into anything.
That the whole scene was pretty cool to see, like a young Diana, like already very skilled and competing with women much older than her,
mature warriors.
And she's shooting arrows. She was in first.
A horse, yeah.
She was in first place most of the time until she looked back. And then a tree branch knocked her off the horse.
Clothes hanger.
Yeah.
And that was another thing in the movie, the humor. Some people said having the comic book tone made it too humorous. And I was like, I didn't feel that way. I thought, getting knocked off the horse, everyone's going to laugh at that. But
that's like
I didn't
a classic.
feel like there was any forced humor. Maybe that scene where she knocks that guy through the bass drum in the mall and he's spinning.
Oh, maybe yeah, that was like a very comic book thing, because this guy gets knocked through the bass drum, but then he's like holding the rim of this big bass drum and like spinning. That
would have been the only part I was like, a little humorous, but
yeah, because that
like not in a good way.
Yeah,
but other than that, I mean, the movie made up for itself by far. There was a little romance, hot and heavy. No, there wasn't. It wasn't too hot and heavy, but yeah, I thought it was a good mix of making up for non-action, as we said.
Yeah, the story made up for the lack of action in it.
And after the movie, we said it gives us that little hallmark ending of her.
Like
romance in the snow,
the perfect ending.
We get this post-credit scene, which was really cool. We get to see the original Wonder Woman actor actually come back as another Amazonian who helped save the Amazonians from mankind in the beginning.
Yeah,
whose armor helped Diana in her fight against Cheetah, which is utterly destroyed.
Oh yeah, the wings got mangled.
But then that's how she gets to learn to fly, though, from Steve. So that's another reason I said it was kind of necessary for Steve to come back, because he was needed for the plot. It's not like he was just brought back for nothing.
Yeah, but the flying's very interesting because she lassos like clouds and lightning.
Was in the beginning to learn, though. Like in the end, she doesn't do that. She gets momentum to get up there and then glides. I think that's how I felt.
It wasn't fully explained how she does it.
What do you think about the lightning? Riding the lightning. Ride the lightning.
I thought that was stupid.
Really? Okay, so I thought it was really cool looking.
It's super cool looking, but like lightning doesn't stay around long enough for you to lasso.
Yeah, I was thinking, but maybe because it was up in the clouds. I don't know.
Because it's like a thunderstorm, and she lassos the lightning, pulls herself forward.
With the lasso.
But it's not a quick scene. It's like this
drawn out swinging Spider-Man.
She throws it, it hooks around, and then she pulls it like at that speed.
Swings on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, I think, like we said, the movie was good.
Mm-hmm.
How would you rate it?
I said
out of 10.
Out of 10, I said a 7 out of 10.
I would give it a 7 out of 10. I know the IMDb, I think right now is like 6 out of 10, I believe. But
I can understand that, like a 6.
I'd give it, well, there's always going to be a little lower than what people think.
Yeah.
But I'd also give it a 7 out of 10, and we were wondering how it compared to the first one. The first one had a much grittier tone, wasn't as funny, a lot of action, so we decided we'd give that one an 8.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this movie was worse, it was just different.
It depends on what you like, because these are our personal ratings.
Yeah. I mean, we would love for y'all to comment how y'all thought it was once you watch it.
Yeah.
How you think it went, how you liked the characters, how you liked how they executed Steve coming back, which I thought they did the best that they could.
I feel like they could have done like a time jump thing. Like because I think he should have just appeared.
Really?
Instead of inhabiting someone's body.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I think the wish thing is strong enough.
It made it confusing to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also talking about the wish thing and how it affects the plot. Originally in the comics, I know we were talking about Cheetah. Her origin has changed.
Oh, yeah. Because I was looking it up because I didn't think that's how Cheetah got it. And apparently it's... So Cheetah is still like an archaeologist. And so she finds this Amazonian dagger and cuts herself on it. And apparently it's the dagger of the goddess of the hunt. So she gets possessed by it and gets turned into this half cheetah, half human hybrid. And that's
just
why.
As powerful as Amazonians.
Yeah.
And that's how she takes Diana on.
Yeah, and so it just felt like not as cool as how the movie did it.
Yeah, but I feel like it was needed for the plot.
Yeah. Since it was the Witching Stone and anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, to include Maxwell, I know he's a pretty popular comic character also. I think including all these characters around the story of the Wishing Stone was the way to go. Yeah. And as we know, we've seen reports just 2 days after this release. Well, one, it released on the new streaming service for Warner Brothers, HBO Max, and broke records, actually. Over half the people instantly watched it again.
Instantly?
Instantly.
Dang.
So they said, of course, they're going to start just releasing movies on there.
That's a smart idea since there's
very smart.
No movie theaters.
Money, which is millions, believe it or not. And so they're going to release movies on there. They've talked about how their plans for the future 2022. By 2022, they want to start releasing 6 movies a year.
Which is crazy.
Which is insane. And they said at least 2 of them would be straight release on HBO Max. And that's anywhere from any movie, really. I mean, Scooby-Doo is owned by Warner Brothers, so...
Might see a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, I mean...
Like the classic live action.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really say what movies. But going back to Wonder Woman 84, 2 days after this movie came out, they already confirmed that they're going to make Wonder Woman 3.
Which I can't wait to see.
Which I think will be really good, because I think we needed this one. It's going to be different, so I think the third one... They also got Patty Jenkins, the director, to come back for this movie, for the third movie, and she said she wasn't, so I guess maybe the success of the second one made her come back.
Maybe there's something like they didn't allow her to do before, and now they're gonna allow her.
And then they're like, "Hey, do this for us, and then we'll let you do what you want in the third movie." And I think that's really great. Yeah. So maybe tell us in the comments what you think the third movie should be, how it should be different, if you liked the second movie, or what you would have done different.
Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave comments on what you thought. And see you guys later.
Thanks.